Hello everybody, welcome to my review of Resident Evil. Welcome to Raccoon City. Just got back from watching it. It's Thanksgiving Day. He had obviously no plans, so I hit the movies. Recently found out that matinees are always $5. So I don't even need to wait till Tuesday. I can just go whenever I see a good movie. Nice. But I'll do my typical thing, give you a plot synopsis, give you my grade, and then talk about any major themes or ideas in the movie. This one, obviously, Resident Evil is a video game, so the setting has obviously got to be intimately related to the campaign on the video game somewhere. I've never, again, big gamer, I've never played Resident Evil, so again, I just don't know the consistency to the game or to the movie, but obviously it certainly has to be connected. But you kind of start out, it's 1998, and I think it's in America. They don't really give you a definitive location, but pretty sure America. But the movie just kind of starts out, and again, I'm just looking at the cast. It kind of starts out, there's these two young kids, Claire Redfield and Chris Redfield. They're orphans. Their parents were killed in a, car accident. Their parents were killed, they're at an orphanage. And they're like sleeping in the same bunk together, and one of the Claire Redfield keeps saying she's seeing something, or she's seeing a person. You know, there's like a hand comes close to her face, she wakes up, and she sees like a little shadowy figure in the corner, follows the shadowy figure, goes up into another room, asks where the shadowy figure's from, and the shadowy figure kind of scribbles below. This is like the genre is horror and action. I would say fantasy horror and action. I thought it was consistent to that. But she goes upstairs, sees this little shadowy figure. You learn that she's from below. I'm assuming just below the city. And then she kind of gets pulled out from and the shadowy figure kind of just like jumps around and you can't really see where it goes. And then Neil McDonald playing William Birkin. He's the head of the orphanage. And he's either I'm pretty sure he's another very bad guy in the Justified TV series that I liked. But I remember we had Wynn Duffy, and then I think he was like even the more violent guy in Justified. He might have been in Arrow as well. But I like Neil McDonald. Don't even know how to say the name properly. But I think he's a pretty good actor. He's probably the only one I recognize from previous things. Maybe one other one, don't really know. But he pulls out Claire Redfield from the shadowy figure and puts her back in the bed. And basically, she has a twin brother, Chris Redfield, and he's basically doesn't believe her seeing these things. Then that's just like the very beginning of the scene. Then you jump up to they're all adults now, and so at this point, the kind of main character, you get introduced to the police force. Again, this is in Raccoon City. So there were seven police officers. Leon, he's the rookie. He's sitting there in the bar. There's a scene, he's falling asleep at the counter of a table. They put a ketchup bottle on his head. The other Jill, the light-skinned black lady, Jill Valentine, Hannah John Kamen, is in the scene. Chris Redfield's a cop. This is all a police department. Albert, he's the tall dude, big dude. Brad Vickers, he flies the helicopter later on. Brian Irons is the chief, and there's one other one. I literally can't recognize it from the character list. But the dude, Leon, is the rookie cop. He got transferred there because he shot his partner in the ass, and he got saved by his dad or something. It's transferred over to the Raccoon City. So all just clowning around. There are 7 main officers, I believe, and then 2 other ones come in, and basically they're saying there's a body by some mansion. I forget the name of the mansion, but it's the police department, the orphanage, and the mansion are like the main 3 places in Raccoon City they deal with through the whole movie. So they're just clowning around, joking with Leon. It's clear that you learn that the Jill character is basically in love with the Albert, the big dude. Chris Redfield, the twin brother of Claire, is like in love with Jill. So a love triangle type of deal. Claire's kind of a renegade. Well, we'll just kind of go through the plot. And so they go up to investigate the body, and they don't really hear anything else, and then the rest of them kind of go back to the station. Then you also have, again, these are the beginning scenes. We also have a trucker scene. Claire Redfield is basically, you learn later on that she ran away from the orphanage when she was like 5. And the Chris Redfield, her twin brother, has kind of an affection for the William Burke and the orphanage owner. But she's coming back with the trucker, and she's coming back to Raccoon City to find her brother, because she's got a warning from the Ben Bertolucci character, and she's coming back to find her brother. She's hitchhiking with a trucker. The trucker doesn't have a name in the movie; it just says trucker, played by Pat Thornton. They're driving, and there's it's a horror action movie. There's just a young girl standing in the road. They clearly mash her up with the truck. And they're like, oh my gosh, we killed somebody, and then the chick casually gets up and walks away as they're arguing about what do we do about just killing somebody. The trucker's dog comes out, licks the blood, and you can tell he's starting to get into the sickness of the transmission of whatever is causing the zombies or whatever. And you haven't been introduced to zombies yet at all. They're still trying to figure out what's going on. So they hit the chick. The dog licks the blood. Girl walks off. Claire and the trucker get back in and make it all the way to Raccoon City. Claire gets out, goes to her brother's house, picks the lock. Her brother's home. Before she picks the lock, there's again another creepy scene of a little kid just sitting there waving in the window, and then one of the creepy kid in the window's dad comes over, also super creepy looking, and shuts the blinds. Claire and Chris Redfield have just interaction like, where'd you go? And this is where you find out she ran away. Blah blah blah. She finds out Chris is a cop. Still says there's no chance with Jill. Chris goes into the police department because there's a big siren going on now. Woo woo woo. So Chris Redfield goes into the police station and basically tells Claire to lock his door when she leaves and not to take his bike. So now at this point, Claire is still at Chris's house. The creepy dude that just shut the blinds comes up to her window and basically in blood writes tasty and itchy. Again, I'm assuming just like describing the transformation. Again, people are getting poisoned by another important part for the plot. Right from the beginning, it's an umbrella corporation. I don't know why I forget to say this, but the Raccoon City is the home place of Umbrella Corporation, which is the largest pharmaceutical company in the country. And it basically says, now that the headquarters of Umbrella have moved out of Raccoon City, the only people left are just the people too poor to leave and some skeleton employees, just a small amount of employees for the company. But writes tasty and itchy on the window. A little kid breaks into the house and sits under the table. You can tell they're all getting at this point they realize people are getting poisoned or having some sort of transformation. And kid hides under the table and says, and Claire says, "Do you need help?" And he says, "No." The kid says, "No, you do." And then the big fucking the dad, the other weird dad that's infected, just bursts through the door. I think she just runs away, or I don't know if she kills him, runs away, but she gets out, takes his bike, and now they're kind of figuring out what's going on. Then you also have at the same time, the police officers who went to investigate the body outside of this mansion that's super relevant in the movie. They have not heard back, so the chief, Brian Irons, sends basically all of the other cops to go find the guy. They go looking for him. They get in the mansion. There's several scenes of, they see the first two cops that went to investigate the body dying, being bitten by these zombies. And at this point, it's very clear it's like a zombie attack. And just, again, obviously insinuated that the pharmaceutical company is doing something. So a bunch of shootouts. They take a helicopter. The guy in the helicopter gets bit, flies the helicopter into the mansion. That thing's broken and dead. Back at the police station, you have Leon the rookie and Brian Irons. the trucker. At this point, the trucker gets bitten by his dog, and he's getting infected now. And he's driving a big like oil rig or something. Drives right in front of the police station, crashes, blows up, literally burning on fire. Walks into the police station. Leon's got his headphones in, not paying attention, and Brian Irons, the chief, shoots the guy dead. And at this point now they're all realizing it's like a big. And then they have the whole time frame of the movie is just a night, and they have like the time frames flashed up there. But they realize at this point it's just like escape the city, kill the zombies, and escape the city. Brian Irons, the chief, tries to he basically says, Leon, you're in charge. I'm dipping the fuck out. I thought he was a pretty funny character throughout. And gets in his car, leaves the police station, tries to leave Raccoon City, and realizes everything is locked down. You see some people get shot, assuming from the umbrella company, or just again the corporation keeping these people in the Raccoon City for the experiment. So his attempt to leave the city is unsuccessful. Comes back to the police station. There's a scene where he fights a dog, a rabid dog, a zombie, a dog becoming a zombie. He gets saved by Claire, because again Claire's going to the police station to look for her brother. But he is at the mansion. Again, they're all at this point fighting different zombies. And so you have the police officers at the mansion, the Leon, Brian Irons, and Claire Redfield at the police station, and at this point also you see William Birkin, who is the head of the orphanage and ends up is either the main scientist or running the Umbrella Corporation. He says he gets a phone call, you don't hear anything, but he tells his wife and his kid, basically we have to get up and we have to leave. And you later on find out that basically the Umbrella Corporation is going to destroy the movie, or destroy the city at 6 o'clock in the morning. And so they get in a car, they go to fucking leave. William Birkin has a run-in with Claire Redfield, has a flashback to remembering. And again, throughout the movie, Claire's having these flashbacks, inconsistent with the plot, consistent with the plot, that, remembering, because her brother didn't believe her at the beginning that she was seeing these things are being led to experimentation, and she's very certain of it, so you just have flashback scenes of her remembering more. So now everything's kind of, it's big zombie fight out, do that. The Ben Bertolucci, he was in there at this point before. Claire shows her brother the video. This is when she was at his house, of Ben Bertolucci warning everybody that the Umbrella Corporation is poisoning things, and that not just poisoning things, but there was a big leak, and basically everyone in the town is getting sick except for the police officers. And so you also have some indication that they've either been protected in the terms of vaccinated or giving some dose where they don't get infected by the poisoning of the water. So Brian Irons, the chief, Claire Redfield, and Leon the rookie go. Again, the chief has come back. He basically says, we need to go to the orphanage to get to an underground tunnel or something. Go to the orphanage. The police chief at this point gets killed by a giant. Like I said, at this point you only see sick people, clearly like zombies, your typical zombies. They get infected and they're just going to go eat people, stuff like that. But then you get this bigger zombie thing, just this huge alien, not alien, but metamorphosized super evil villain thing. Not just an average human being, just a different type of creature. And he basically either with a tongue or with a big appendage kills Ben Bertolucci, and he attacks the Leon and Claire. And there's another, Claire, they see another person, again, the chick that scribbled below in the opening scenes is there at the orphanage as well, and somehow kills this other big evil thing. So there's the infected people, crazy big monsters that are pretty rare, and one or two good people that have been experimented on but still remember or still have humanity or something like that. And so they kill the big monster, and now Leon and Claire, they're trying to meet up with the brother, and they're going to go through a tunnel in the orphanage to the mansion where all the police officers are at. At the mansion, again, they're all fighting zombies. Albert, the big dude who Jill is in love with, has some sort of device that he has at the beginning, a couple scenes before this, and it's like, this device will tell you everything you need to do to survive the night, and he's kind of following the instructions. Plays something on the piano, the tunnel opens up to a train to leave the city. This point is where the helicopter has crashed into the thing. Jill learns that Chris Redfield, that Albert, who the guy that she likes, is a traitor. Is either, it's not clear if he works exactly for Umbrella Company, corporation, or just some other shadowy figure in the background. But he's clearly was going to leave them to die, for some money, basically saying, get out of the small town. So Jill's all upset, but what happens next? So, again, all of these scenes are jumping back and forth. And so, I think at this point they basically confront William Birkin somehow. Again, I'm missing something. Again, I do this off the top of my head. But Leon and Claire. Let me pause and think about it for a second. So I might be missing a scene, or this might be out of order a little bit. This is a synopsis. But somehow the big dude, Albert, I'm just not sure who he's working for. It's clear William Birkin is working for the Umbrella Corporation doing experimentation on human beings. It's not even really clear the directive. Again, it's about a video game. So, William Birkin and Albert, I forget what the confrontation is. Again, they don't know. They're both bad dudes, but they're not sure they're not on the same team. William and his family are trying to leave. It's not sure why they can't leave Raccoon City to me, but somehow they meet up again. And Albert is going to basically, I forget what, but he's gonna kill William if he doesn't give him he wants the research from William. That's probably what Albert was probably hired by somebody else to steal William's research. That's probably what's going on. But there's a gun behind William's work. He's kind of back to Albert, and there's a gun here with his work. Whips out a gun. Albert shoots him, falls down. His wife, William's wife, picks up the gun, turns around to try to shoot him, gets shot in the head, and they have a little young daughter. She runs away, but you also see that William Birkin has injected himself with whatever his research is. And so you have Chris Redfield, the Albert dude, he gets shot, and it looks like he's down, he looks like he's going to die. And again, at this point, like I said, they somehow meet up between going through the tunnel at the mansion and the tunnel at the orphanage. Well, the creepy chick that kills the other big alien for Leon and Claire, she gives them a key to get to the mansion. So this is probably at the mansion area. And at the mansion, there's a train to get out of the city. So you kind of think William's dead for a second. The wife is certainly dead. The kid runs away. Oh, and also Ben Bertolucci, he's also killed. He's held in the Raccoon police station. There's a scene where he pulls out the gun. He somehow manipulates. He's in a police cell. Leon's the police officer. He calls him close, pulls out his gun and says, "Get me the fuck out of here," because his cellmate's literally turning into a zombie, and he ends up getting eaten. So he's killed. A couple of cops are killed. Vickers is dead. Brian Irons is dead. The other cop is dead. You have Leon alive. Albert, you think, is dead, and Chris Redfield alive at this point. And so they make it on the train. They're absolutely sure they're getting away now. Everything's good. And then they start the train. And at this point, William Birkin is morphing into like a super, super evil, crazy Resident Evil creature thing. He's got like his original head. He grows into like literally just a different creature. His original head's like here. There's eyeballs everywhere. There's a fly in my room. But he's now this again one of these super big, crazy, evil alien things. Not aliens, crazy creatures. And so he attacks the train and basically rips it open. I mean, he's like a huge monster now. And he rips open the train. They're fighting, they're shooting him. It doesn't look like they're doing any damage. And then Leon comes out of the conductor, the front of the train with a rocket launcher, blows the dude to smithereens. And so that's like kind of towards the end. And then so Leon escapes, Chris Redfield escapes, Claire Redfield escapes, and Jill escapes. you kind of get some innuendo that Jill is, and Chris, like I said, Chris Redfield has a big crush on Jill, and so now Albert's betrayed them, and I think they're kind of like hooking up, like falling into some romance or something. Blow up the train. They kind of walk out of the tunnel of wherever the train comes out of, and then you get a flash up screen about the Umbrella Corporation update on the objectives. Destroyed, lab destroyed, research destroyed, civilian survivors 0. So obviously, setting up the plot for maybe another future movie. And so the 4 of them walk out. You get a little bit of credits rolling, or you see like literally the city like collapse into like a hole. You get some credits rolling, and then you get one final scene where Albert, the big dude who sold everybody out to steal William Birkin's research, it can't see anymore because again you think he's dead, and then some character called Ada, Asian lady, comes in and says, gives him some glasses, and then you can assume he can see. And again, maybe another Resident Evil like game. Again, I've not played Resident Evil, but gives him some sunglasses and says, there's going to be other side effects. You're going to need these. We had to inject you with something to save you. And that's really kind of the end of the movie. So now I'm going to give you my rating and talk about any major themes in the movie. So again, like I said, I watch a bunch of movies, but anytime I see like a critic score to a audience score is extremely different. Like this one had pretty shitty ratings from any critic. It was like, 25 to 50% recommended, and then the Google likes is, I think it was like 85%. Let's see. Yeah, 5.7 out of 10 IMDb, 29% Rotten Tomatoes, 45% Rotten Critic, and 85% Google users liked it. So, again, I don't listen to fucking anybody, but anytime I see a discrepancy like that, I almost watch it on principle just to see what could go anywhere. Because I'm pretty sure after people become Reddit moderators for a while, they become cynical movie critics. So, this is people you can't please. Like, it's a fucking movie for an hour and 45 minutes. Getting my rating scale. Yeah, I've gone through it several times. I'm not going to say it again, but again, I will. A, novel idea. B, entertaining. C, average. D, off-putting. F, had to leave. And again, for what the genre was, again, horror, fantasy, violence, I'll give it a B+. I thought it was on par. I thought the suspense was decent. I'm no problem saying I like watching scary movies or just any movies with pop-out stuff. I watch them like this. Still got to see the movie, but in case something jumps out, you got to be ready to not look at it. But again, anytime no problem saying I jump at the jumpy parts. But I like scary movies. I haven't seen like a great one in a while. This one was interesting to me because it's again based on a video game, but I thought it fit the part. I enjoyed it. It was entertained. I had suspense throughout. Didn't know the background of the video game, but I'll give it a B+. Major ideas in the theme. You have cute love romance, your typical crazy zombie movies. Genetic modification. Is it possible to get bitten by something and then just turn into a crazy creature? Fuck no. Fuck no. It's not possible. If your genetics got modified fast enough, you just die. So, and that's very standard for any horror movie. You have World War Z, an infection where everyone turns to fucking zombies. You have, I Am Legend with Will Smith, everyone turns to zombies. I did like both of those movies. World War Z is one I've watched several times, so I think that's a good one. So for recommendations of similar ones, I would also recommend World War Z. I would recommend I Am Legend. Again, probably a lot of people have seen that. This is kind of similar to like The Strain. It's a TV show. Again, just people get infected. But it's not possible to have like substantial genetic modification without death. It just wouldn't fucking happen. So, but again, like I said, you just take that as face value and enjoy the fucking movie. It's just not that serious. But that's kind of the only major theme. And again, the only other one would have been like super shadowy evil corporations. Fuck no. Like, again, no. But stupid people, yes. Incompetence, yes. Arrogance, yes. market share, dominate the world, turn everyone into zombies, and create this crazy, research. Fuck no. Anything else? I don't know. Republicans might think that this is what happens when you get the vaccine. Maybe. But, again, like I said, the only real takeaway, besides it just being an entertaining movie, is there substantial genetic modification possible without death? And the answer is no. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. I had a good time watching Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City. I give it a B+, that's definitely a recommendation. And certainly if you're a player of the video game, I'm sure it's probably going to be something interesting. But again, remember, if you keep me entertained for the length of the movie, you're going to get a recommendation. So, thank you for watching, and I hope you go see it.